How you doing, guys? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Y'all seen me do the light here. This little light. It's working out nice. I really like the light. It's really going to help me a lot in the garage. Well, I have another project here to do. It's been sitting around here for a while. It's an old scroll saw. This is another thing that somebody had thrown away. Now, if you guys go to yard sales and stuff like that, you can pick up stuff like this. It looks old and junky. You might pay $5 for it or something, you know, but honestly, this was thrown away at one of our cleanup days. And now what I'm going to do is see if I can get it to work. I actually plugged it in when I first brought it home, and it seemed like the switch had a little short in it. And I noticed that the blade is either broke or not working, the hose is broke. I'll show you the machine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clean it up and see if we can get this thing back to where we can use it again. So let me show you what it looks like. Now this is basically the way I got it. It was, you know, it's not cleaned or anything. As you can see, this hose here needs to go in here and it's broke. It's got some rust on it. Looks like it's been sitting maybe in a basement for a long time or something. Seems like the tool thing works okay, but it'll be another one of them jobs. There's the bottom of it, pretty dirty, a little rusty up in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start cleaning this thing up. I don't even see a name on this thing. Yeah, it's probably not a great one, but it's still a tool. There's the on and off switch. Like I said, it looks like it's been sitting for a while, so it's probably sitting in somebody's basement and they didn't want it no more, so they pitched it. So now I'm going to see if I can get this thing to come back to life. If I can get it to come back to life, I'll use it, that's for sure. I'll use it on something. I'll set it up on a bench somewhere and that'll be another tool. Well, let's see how we'll get this thing cleaned up. The first thing I'm going to do with this thing is I'm going to take it and plug it in and see if I can get it to work again. I did plug it in, like I said, when I first got it, and it seemed like there was a short in it, in the switch down here. It's not working at all now. So we're going to get it cleaned up a little bit. I'm working on the little, I'm just trying the little switch over here. It says pull to on. There it goes. So I think there must be a short in that switch. We'll see if we can clean that switch out. But it does work a little bit. So first thing, like I said, I'm going to get her cleaned up. We know the motor does run, so that's a plus. It's going to be in that switch if there's anything wrong with it. Okay, I got the machine turned off there, unplugged. And have you guys ever used Purple Power? I should do a video on Purple Power. This is something that I really like a lot, this Purple Power. I'm going to try to just clean it up a little bit so we can see what we have. I mean, it's definitely filthy dirty, but I think it's going to clean up rather nice. This machine may not even have that much use on it. It doesn't look terrible. Just a little bit of cleaning is probably going to make it look better. Turn it over on its side here a little bit. Spray some of this nice Purple Power in here. Now I'll probably end up cleaning again after I'm all done. I'll clean it with WD-40. I like WD-40 to clean with too. This here I'm going to just try to get the grease and stuff that's on it off. Hopefully we can make this thing look like new again. Once I get what I can get with the rag, then I'll go get the air gun and we'll blow out the cracks real good. And then we're going to start tearing this thing apart. We're going to do the same thing we did with the other tool we fixed. Which one was that? Oh, the little drill press thing. We're going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to get it all cleaned up. And we're going to see if we can get this thing back to usable. I noticed this thing has some places we can actually put new brushes in this motor. We probably could order brushes if we needed them. If it works, we'll leave it alone. If it don't, we'll get new brushes and put in there if we have to. I have a feeling this machine is going to be okay. I don't think there's going to be much wrong with it. Alright, we got it semi cleaned up there. I think what we'll do is start tearing it apart. Like I said, this is something that somebody had thrown away. It's pretty much garbage, but you know, we hate to throw a good tool that we can actually get working away. Okay, we're going to figure out, let me get the air hose here, we'll blow a little bit more. Alright, let's just try to blow out some of the cracks. Okay, that don't look too bad. That's not too awful bad. I actually cleaned up pretty decent, so we'll go ahead and take his top off first. I'll try to get this pan off the top. So I'm going to work on starting to get this thing tore apart a little bit. See, that's even got a table even swivels on it too, I noticed. Check it out. Yeah. So you can tilt your table too. That's a cool little feature. I like that. So we'll get the table off of there. That way we could start, maybe we could figure out what's wrong with this switch down under here. Okay, looks to me like there's only one bolt holding the whole bench together here. The whole top. So we'll go ahead and get this bolt out. It's got an Allen bolt in here. If I can get this thing to work half decent, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some blades for it. Let's see here. Oh, I see what's going on here. We got to take this bolt out too. You know, when you're tearing something apart like this, you've never done it before, so you just got to work with it. Figure it out as you go. You're not going to break it. It was already thrown in the garbage once. We can always throw it in the garbage again. Now it should come. Our blade's already broke, so we'll be pitching that blade in the garbage. So now we got the top off. Well, there's a good, it's made in Taiwan, so I mean it probably work. It says Sears and Roebuck on it, so it's probably a pretty old one. It's older than I thought. So it's got the serial number, model number. I can use all that to be able to get me a new one, or to get some new blades and stuff. So we'll go ahead and let's see. I'm just going to keep tearing on this thing until I get it all apart. What I'm going to do is take that guide off here now, the one that holds the deck level, tilts the deck. Like I said, I'm going to tear it all apart, clean every little nook and cranny in it. And then I'll put it all back together. Hopefully we'll have a good machine. I don't know yet. All depends on that switch. I probably could even order the switch maybe, if I need one. Then again, if this thing's been used very much. Okay, we just got this piece off. Easy to clean once you get it off. Now, I'm trying to get down to the switch here. So I got a couple Phillips here to take off. I just want to be able to get to the switch, have good access to the switch. And this stuff is kind of in my way. So this is going to take it all apart. Then, like I said, we'll clean it, put it back together. Now, I think there is a lot of parts that you can still order for these guys. So now I made sure my machine is unplugged now. We got it good, unplugged good, and I'm going to see what's inside of all this. Might be full of dust down in there, who knows? I don't even know if these bolts are what takes it apart. We'll find out. Main thing's the motor. We get the motor working, the rest of it should be easy. Well, ain't much to that. That's the cover for the top. I'm going to try to get rid of a bunch of this stuff and try to work this motor over. That switch is in there. It looks like I might be able to replace that switch. I don't know. It just looks like a regular toggle switch. I mean, it's bolted in, so we should be able to replace it. Right there's a switch. You can see the goop all around it. There's a bunch of garbage around it. So we might be able to just unbolt it and put a new switch down in there. Okay, I plugged the machine back in there. I'm going to try to blow some of this garbage out of here. Now they make a spray. We might be able to get some spray for this thing. Let's just try it. Seems like the switch is working correctly, but maybe it just needs to be worked. You know, if stuff sets too long, it could actually just be not being used. Well, that's one piece we don't have to worry about taking off. Now it seems like that switch is working okay. I might get some spray and see if we could spray in here and clean all these wires up and get it working better. I want to make sure I unplug it before I go touching anything in there. So we got the power off now. I think this is going to be an okay machine, but like I said, I might go ahead and get some spray, some electrical spray, and clean these panels, this little motherboard up. Okay, I went and got some spray. This is some electrical cleaner. It's a protector and cleaner, so I thought maybe I would try to spray around this switch. Maybe just spray the whole panel. I don't think it'll hurt it for electrical stuff. So maybe I can get that switch to work well. I don't know. So I'm just gonna spray. I'm gonna spray the whole panel. It was dirty, so I'm gonna spray this. I'm gonna spray all this down in here too, just to try to get some of that where that rust was on there. The switch was the main thing. We'll have to let that dry real good
It don't take long to dry. It's sort of like alcohol, so we'll let that dry good. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and start taking the rest of this thing apart. I wanted to get all this apart in here where the and clean this up. Make sure this is well greased. We'll make sure it's greased good so it would work smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and keep tearing it apart. Okay, I finally got it down to just basically the frame here, or the stand. I'm not going to take the electronics out of here, and I'm not going to take the motor off of there. But I want to go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then we're going to use this base to start putting it back together. Before we forget how it goes back together, we need to start getting it back together. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I don't have right now is the blades. And I had ordered a couple different types of blades. I'm hoping this machine works good because I'm counting on it to work good because I've already ordered the blades and everything. So I'm going to work on just cleaning this up. And what I'm going to use is WD-40. I like using WD-40. It's going to lubricate it, and it's going to clean it good. You know, it'll preserve it. If it's made out of steel, it'll keep it from rusting. So that's what I usually use. I use WD-40. And I'll clean it up real good, make sure everything's as clean as I could possibly get it. Now I know I can't get it perfect, but we'll get her clean. Now each time I clean something, I'm going to go ahead and put it back on here so we don't forget where it all goes. So now this might have, I can see a little mark on the thing here where this goes, so I'm good there. And if I have to adjust it, I can. But each time I take some, get something cleaned, I'm going to go ahead and get it put back on. That way, like I said, don't forget where they go. Don't lose nothing. This is actually a pretty good size project to clear apart like this. But we're going to get it together one way or another. And we're going to get this thing to work like it's supposed to work. We're hoping that we'll get our new blades in and get this thing tried here shortly. Alright, I got the, this is the big arm that was up in there. And I got it apart. And I'm looking at it. I thought this thing had sealed bearings, but it doesn't have sealed bearings. So what we're going to do, it's just run on brass bushing. So if it would have been sealed bearings, I couldn't have greased it or anything. It would have been just the way it had been. We're going to try to get it apart here if I possibly can. And we're going to grease these bushings. Get it out of there. Okay. See, these are just run on brass bushings here. As you can see, there's one here, one there, and the same on the other side. And they don't have much grease on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the grease off of these. And go ahead and put new grease on them. I got some of that lithium grease I used on the runaway camper there. I'm going to use that grease on these and then put this thing back together. Yeah, it has some grease on them, but not much. I just want to make sure I get this back in here the right way. So I got a little bit of this lithium grease, and we're going to put some in each one of these, on each one of these, and down in the holes. And then we'll put some on our pins too that we're going to stick down in there. I'm hoping that will have enough grease in there to keep it lubricated good. And we could slip this back down. Well, we got these two ends here. We'll see if I can press some of that grease down in there and maybe work it around down in each one of these things. Try to press it down in there the best I can. Now I'll just gotta set it back down in them holes. Now them should be pretty well greased. Then we'll grease the holes on this thing too. Get some grease down there, a little bit of old stuff. So that should do pretty good. And we'll slip this bad boy right back on where it goes. Then we'll get her screwed back together, and then we'll have that greased, so that way we know the machine, all of it's been greased good. Okay, I'm putting it together. It's looking pretty nice. I mean, everything's going together good. I replaced the hose on the top here. It was dry rotted. Got it replaced. I had some old hose here, a spool of it. So I had a hose, so I replaced it, and everything's greased. Got all this back together. Everything's greased good. Now we're going to start working on the table, and that's about all we got. We don't have a whole lot more to go, but we're going to get on the rest of it and get it cleaned up. Like I said, I'm cleaning each piece as I put it on, and it's really turning out nice. I know that that's probably not an expensive machine, but it was a free machine, and if I could get it to work like new, it'll be a good machine. Okay, we got it all back together. And we tore all this apart, cleaned all this, wire brushed it down, put some WD-40 on it, cleaned it up. Everything seems to be looking pretty good. Now I want to try my switch. I think the switch just needs to be worked back and forth. If I could work it back and forth, I think the switch will work fine. I didn't want to run it too hard with there no blade in there, but I figured turning on and off ain't gonna hurt it. It seems to be working pretty good. So now I'm just waiting on blades. As soon as we get our blades, I'll cut a piece of wood with it. We'll see if we can cut with it, and that'll be our main test. Anyway, hey, if it don't cut, it ain't worth nothing, but if it cuts, we're gonna have a nice little saw here to use. Well, I finally got me some blades. I got some spiral blades and just some regular blades. And I noticed I looked up the owner's manual on this thing online, and they had a little horseshoe type brace that you would stick through this hole here and back there, and that was so you could tighten up your blade in there. So I don't have one, so I'm going to take this nail and I'm going to make one out of this nail. I'm going to start off by just grinding this end flat, and then I'll bend this end to fit over this and down through here. So I'm just going to bend it up there real quick. Now I'm going to take it over there and wire brush it, and I'm going to cut it off right there. There's my little piece. So you can put your Allen wrench in here and snug that up without the piece moving. Alright, let's get a blade in this thing. Okay, I got a new blade on there, and this is one of them spiral blades, which I've never used before. And I got it in there pretty tight, and you can see this thing works pretty nice. It's quiet. It doesn't bounce around or anything. The speed works nice. Slow it down. I think the more I work it, the more this switch will work. So we'll give it a try here. See if we can cut with it. Now this blade here is supposed to be able to go any direction, cut in any direction. As you can see, it cuts pretty nice. The blade is holding up just fine in there. Sort of looks like a little cactus. But I think I have a new tool for the shop. I really like this little tool. I think it's going to come in handy for when we want to cut small things out. I think I got different blades here too that'll cut hardwood and a lot thicker wood than that one. I think that one has 46 teeth per inch. These ones here have 9.5 teeth per inch, and the teeth are going reverse skip tooth. So it says with 6 reverse skip tooth so per inch. So anyhow, I got different blades. I should be able to use this thing for multiple things in the shop. And as you can see, it works really good. And the speed control is working good. But like I said, it still has that little hesitation when I take off with it. See, if I turn it on, sometimes it hesitates for a second. But I don't know if it's the dial when you're turning it up and down or the switch on and off. That machine works really smooth. I'm surprised at how smooth it works. But it is greased and everything, so that's it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my little scroll saw. Like I said, this was going to be thrown away. I don't know why, but it was in the garbage, so I salvaged it. Now I got a nice little tool for my shop. I think it'll come in handy for different projects that I might do. And if it don't, I can put it in the corner, or the only thing it cost me was some blades. And I got more than enough blades to last me a long time for this thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.